Hey, Margie here. Today we're going to talk about something called skeletoning. It's a combination of music, dance, and movement and fun. And it was created by our special guest today, Penelope Wasserman. And Penelope is an osteoporosis exercise specialist who's been teaching Pilates with modifications for special needs populations for 20 years. She also developed the $1 Million Bones program in 2011 to help prevent osteoporosis. She believes that knowledge is power and that the consequences of learning healthy lifestyle habits at a young age will make significant positive impacts on their lives and futures. Penelope is someone I've known for many years, and she's done so much to make a difference in preventing and treating osteoporosis. She was on an earlier podcast really focusing on Pilates, but today we're going to talk about this new type of dance, and as well as dance in general, how you can incorporate things into your life to get some more exercise while having fun. So stay tuned. Welcome, Penelope. I'm really, really excited to have you on the podcast again. You were here really a long time ago talking about Pilates, and I'll have that episode available in the show notes for people. But today we're going to talk about something really fun and that you've created called skeletoning. So welcome, welcome.
Thank you. And hello. It's true. The last podcast I did with you, it was 2 cities ago for me. It was way before COVID when we were all going out and communicating not via Zoom. But yes, this is skeletoning. And it's actually a byproduct of a class that I used to teach that I think I called it like tapping or something, or bone tapping or something. It was a tap dance class. And it was so much fun to get a bunch of adults in tap shoes and have them dance around the room, and reminded me back in the days of when I was a little girl. I was saying, you guys sound like a million elephants climbing the stairs and things like that. But it's a fun weight-bearing dance activity.
Well, let's just say, why would tap dancing be a good thing?
Why would it be a good thing? Because you're standing, you're stomping, you're getting the ground reaction force of the earth coming up through the soles of your feet up into your legs and joints and hips to strengthen your hips. And you've got to work on your balance. You've got to work on your breathing. You've got to concentrate. You've got to listen to the music. You've got, there's a lot of really, really good things going on with tap dancing.
Oh, and I loved tap dancing way back. So what do you have people wear on their feet for the tap dancing?
Oh, well, if they don't have tap shoes, they can, I just happen to have mine still. But if they don't have tap shoes, they can just wear shoes, anything that doesn't have a rubber sole, because you want to be able to hear yourself on the floor. But for this, so that was our tap dance class. But for this, it's just moving, having fun, coordination. And it's short and sweet little snippets of choreography to some of your own favorite songs. So it gets you moving around, makes you think a little bit. And there's got to be a level of core awareness. So the class begins with some of our supine strengthening and stretching exercises to wake up our joints, find our core muscles, learn what a neutral pelvis is and things like that, because we want to then take that into our dance class. It's really like, it's structured like a professional dance class where you do your warm-ups first, and then you stand, you do your center, you do your technique, you learn a little bit of choreography, the music goes, and then you dance.
I mean, I've been very lucky because I've gone to some of your classes, and I love the dances because I'm a big believer we have to enjoy our exercise. And too often people are on the treadmill and hating it and just like, oh, I have to do this.
Counting off the minutes.
Right. And so all these negative chemicals and stress is going, oh, just let me get through this. Where on another note, you could be tapping, you could be dancing, enjoying the movement, and you could have been a professional choreographer. I love your dances.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you.
No, they're just so much fun. So what a great win-win that you can dance, but yet be getting all these benefits. So I love it. But what are some problems that you see that people, just get up and dance, which is fine in a lot of ways, but what are, you mentioned a few of them, but what are the things, why do we need to prepare why don't you talk about the feet? Because you do a lot of work with the foot, and why do you think it's important before you just go into an exercise or a dance that you do prepare the feet?
Well, first of all, our feet take so much pressure, no matter what your job is. If you're standing a lot, depending on the type of shoes you wear, you get to a certain age, people have bunions, people have corns, people have neuromas, there's all different things that cause the alignment of people's feet to be off. And if you're putting more weight on the outer edge of your foot or the inner edge of your foot, that actually translates into how you put weight on your knees, how you put weight on your hips, and it can even affect, your jaw, your neck positioning, and things like that. So first and foremost, if we can exercise our feet, stretch out our toes, utilize the muscles in the soles of our feet, understand our foot alignment and that alignment awareness, how there's this incredible connection between how our ankle joint sits into our foot and our leg bones with how our pelvis, our spine sits in our pelvis. It's all really related. So when you get up and start dancing, you have an awareness about that, you're much less likely to injure yourself. I mean, everything we do alignment wise is to prevent injury.
Is there something everybody listening could do with their feet that the listeners at home
Actually,
could
I
do?
have it right here. I'm so glad you asked. I've got these are gel spacers that I got on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure if you go to my shiftingstances.com website, I believe I have the link that you could buy these. I don't sell them, but these are my favorites. So if you put these into your toes, if you get a pedicure, they put these spacers in between your toes so you don't smudge the toenail polish. Put these into your have them on your feet if you're just sitting around relaxing. Say if you watch TV, or if you're whatever you want to do to relax, for say 20 minutes every evening before you go to bed. That does wonders for increasing the metatarsal space between the joints of your toes. So it's supposed to be an equidistant space. And it also is really good for stretching out your toes. So say your pinky toe is all like tucked under your bigger foretoes or something. This will help you increase the mobility in your toes, which people probably don't think about, but your toes, the first two, the big ones, are for balance, and the last the last three, big ones balance, last three propulsion. No, last three balance, sorry, big two, first two propulsion. And your toes should be able to really move like your fingers to help you go through space. So as you're utilizing your toes, you start to also then realize that you've got muscles in your feet, and you can, tense, and then pointing, flexing. There's all these fun stuff that we'll do with our feet. We'll do that on the 21st. We'll do feet things. But that's one thing. Sorry. One takeaway, everybody, put the spacers in between your toes at night. Don't sleep with them, though. And I don't like yoga toes, by the way. Yoga toes are very, they create an awful lot of space. I like to ease into increasing range of motion and stretching.
Okay, so if people put these in and it hurts, then that's too much for them. They should just gradually.
You don't want to hurt yourself. You want it to just be like, oh, this is kind of an interesting stretch. Haven't felt this, if you do the pedicure ones, they're not that invasive and intrusive. It's help. I mean, obviously, if somebody has like a horrible bunion or issue or things like that, don't force your great toe to move in a position that would cause you severe pain. It shouldn't hurt. It should just be a nice stretch.
I remember one of the programs that I did that you were teaching, you had these on everybody's mat.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to take them off. It just was it just felt so good. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I did a program, a Happy Feet program that was just a big workshop on foot wellness and toes. And so I gave the spacers and little jars of peppermint foot cream and, all these little things. And then I took these big rubber bands, like the broccoli rubber bands, and tied them together to do toe stretching exercises. And the other thing everybody can really do for your feet is, or with your partner, have your partner massage your feet. And if you don't have a partner, do it yourself. Get some peppermint foot lotion, or even just say coconut oil or something that you can get out of a jar. And it is so nice to take care of your feet and just give them little massages. That little bits of love that you maybe never thought about can make a big difference on how your feet support you.
Okay, so we've worked on the feet. What other things do you see when people, before dance or before anything that people are, going to do that are so important that people oftentimes forget or don't even think about preparing?
I really like to get a kind of a total body warm up in. So, lying on our backs first, finding our core muscles, engaging our abdominal muscles, feeling how your pelvis should be in space, nice big breaths to start getting your breath ready for movement, and finding your range of motion, by in your joints, how far do you want to move this in this session without forcing any ranges of motion. Doing so a little bit of strengthening, a little bit of stretching, and then getting ready to stand up and dance. And we do some kind of concentration exercises where I have you like moving one arm one way, one arm the other way, adding in your legs simultaneously to kind of crossing the midline, challenging your brain a little bit, and seeing how it's very, very basic choreography, but it's kind of going through little layer upon layer upon layer and challenging yourself.
And the fun thing is that, while you're doing it, you don't realize you're just following and doing it. But yet each thing, like you said, this is working on the brain. A lot of it's working on balance, which as we get older, if we don't use it, you lose it. So it's very
standing
important.
On one foot, standing on, going into releve on your toes, doing even just heel drops, like they look like football exercises, things like that. Anything that noticing how, when my feet are weighted equally on the floor, it's easier to balance. Or when when I'm engaging my abdominal muscles, I'm not going to fall over and things like that. Because it all ideally translates into just your activities of daily living. And hopefully you'll want to dance your, find moments throughout the day to continue this and just have more fun with your body and your friends and your movement.
Yeah. And I guess you can take any piece of this and just, if you have 5 minutes, right, put it into your day, do a little heel drops or do a little,
if you don't have time to do your full exercise or whatever it is you're doing, you can do just little pieces of it. And even, a lot of days I'll go for a walk, but when I go for a walk, I'm engaging my core. I kind of am listening to the music in my head, and it just makes it, for me at least, a little more fun.
So Penelope, how do people translate this into their daily life? These pieces of the dance.
Well, ideally, you're going to remember 1 or 2 steps and just practice it. You could be out for a walk and you could throw a little choreography into your walk. You could have your favorite song that you like to listen to, whatever your jam is, put it on and dance around your house. Find ways to integrate music and movement into your wellness and body. And I think it's just fun.
It's a great way, because I'm so big on posture and ergonomics. And so, we're sitting at our desk for hours. So when you take, 20 minutes, you're getting up, or at least 30 minutes, get up, do a little dance. You'll feel so good. Plus it's good for you. So it's a great thing to do on your breaks as well. Plus it will make you happier too.
It will. It will absolutely. Dancing has been a part of my life since I was 5 years old. And it's pretty much always my go-to happy place, and it was hard for me in COVID because obviously for everyone and lots of all the professionals, we couldn't get into the studio. So we had to find other ways. And there's been, for me, like Tyler Peck, New York City Ballet, was giving a class every day. She taught a Zoom class almost every day in COVID at 1 o'clock. And I was teaching Zoom classes for a long time at 4 o'clock every day, doing Pilates and modifications and just gentle work. And the movement is healing. In fact, my old studio used to be called Healing with Movement. It's magic. So yeah, if you can incorporate any kind of dance, you don't have to be good, but if you can also find your alignment while you do it, your body will thank you.
Well, I want to share something with everybody listening because I have a reset class twice a month, and Penelope is coming this week to the class, and we're going to offer it for free. We're going to give complimentary access to everybody who's listening. And even if you sign up and you can't come live, it's Thursday at 12 o'clock noon Eastern, Eastern Daylight Time. And that's Thursday, the 21st. And so even if you can't come, if you sign up, you'll get the replay. So this is something that usually, we charge for this, but both Penelope and I really felt that we just want to share it because it's fun. We need more fun in our lives.
We
And
do.
we just wanted to really just a way to spread the joy. And so it's available to everybody. And again, if you can't come, just sign up and you'll get the replay. So you'll be able firsthand to really experience the skeletoning that Penelope developed, and just, it's fun. It's just dance.
Thank you. And Margie, I think we should emphasize that you don't need to be a dancer to take this class. If you can stand and walk, you can take this class. So don't say, oh my God, no, there's no way I'm going to be in a dance class. The whole point of skeletoning is that everybody can do this. It's just kind of an alternative to going for a walk, an alternative, and that's hopefully fun.
Oh, it is fun.
Thank you.
So is there anything else that you want to share about dance or anything else with the community?
No, I'm just very happy as we are. I know, COVID still has such a big effect on so many of us. And I'm hoping one day that we'll be back doing things live. But right now, I just hope that skeletoning can come into your life through Zoom. And you can find a little place. It doesn't have to be big in your house to move around, and know that as a group, we're working together to bring this collective consciousness of joy and movement and music and using our bodies and somatic awareness to have a better day together. So I guess the takeaway, Margie, is whether you're going to practice and do this at home on Zoom, or hopefully at some point in the future we'll be together to do it in person. But the takeaway is just dance. It's fun. It makes you feel good, and it's good for you.
Absolutely. Gave us so many little pointers that we can put into our day that I think can make a big difference. And so I really can't thank you enough. And I really do hope people listening, again, if you can't come live, then sign up, because even if you take a little piece of this back, I think it's fun. It's just fun. And there's lots of benefit from it. So thank you again. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure.
I'm looking forward to it.
I hope you enjoyed my interview with Penelope as much as I did, and now have some new ways to incorporate dance into your life. All the links we talked about will be in the show notes. And if you can either join us live or watch the replay and get to experience skeletoning for yourself, it's so much fun. And it's just another way to get some more exercise into your life while you're enjoying it. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.